This is iRock with Rockstars, hosted by Ryan from iRock 93.5.
Hey, what up? It's Ryan with iRock 93.5, and we have a very special guest who you can see very soon on the phone. Dale Stewart, Seether. Hey, you're going to be here in like 2 weeks, man.
Yeah, man. It's not that long now. We're heading out on back on tour again for first one since fall. So, hopefully we're not too rusty. Hopefully we can knock the cobwebs off a little bit and remember how the songs go. But I'm looking forward to getting back out there, man. It's gonna be fun.
Well, I mean, you've got the new songs, obviously, that, those should be fresh in your head because they just came out. And the old ones, I mean, you've been doing those for, 25-ish years? So it's probably muscle memory at this point, right?
No, you're right. It is. Those old songs, like, I think I could play them in my sleep. I've actually, this wasn't recently because I'd like to think I'm slightly more responsible these days, but I've blacked out before and like not remembered the show. And I'm like, what happened? They're like, dude, you played great. It's fine. I'm like, oh wow, okay, just straight muscle memory. Sure. So it's in there. Like when you've played the song thousands of times, like it just kind of happens. It's the new ones that are actually more challenging because those ones you have to still kind of think about, and those are the ones you can still mess up. So hopefully I can get those locked in as well.
Yeah, and I mean, the new ones are off the new album, The Surface Seems So Far. Is there one, now obviously you're going to play the two singles that you have out already, you're going to play those, but is there one from that album that you already know you're going to have on the set list? You're like, man, I'm looking forward to playing that one live.
I don't know yet. The set list is kind of it's sort of a moving, breathing thing. We don't really plan it out before the tour. It's the kind of thing we might change sort of on the night, depending on how Sean's voice is feeling or, how much time we have. We've had so many singles out over the years. We can't really afford to, play too many new songs almost, it feels like.
Sure.
I feel like the fans really come to listen to hopefully kind of a snapshot of each album, so we like to take a little bit from each album that we've had, and that ends up 9 times out of 10 just being the singles. So it's kind of a good problem to have, I guess.
It is,
that,
yes.
The whole album is singles, but yeah, I mean, if we do have a bit of extra time and we can fit in a couple, 1 or 2 of the new songs, that would be cool. But it's probably for now just going to be the singles, like Judas Mind and Walls Come Down. I'd like to maybe play 1 or 2 of the new ones, but that'll be something we decide, kind of throw an audible or call an audible, I guess, just before we take the stage, I guess.
Yeah, and that makes sense. I mean, because like you said, I mean, people they want to hear Gasoline, they want to hear Remedy. I mean, you've got a list of them here, but I also get it, just from your standpoint, like, okay, give the fans what they want, but also can we slip a different one in here and there, and that's cool that you guys kind of do change the set list from here and there, because a lot of bands, it's like, man, when that tour starts, that's the set list from stop 1 to stop 40. So that's cool for you guys that you can just kind of change it up as need be. Yeah,
it's fun to have a bit of a change. Sometimes, we used to always enjoy just throwing in a random cover from time to time. Mm-hmm. And that's also just kind of a way of like, hey, let's just do something different. And I mean, it's as much for us as anyone else in that I don't want to say it gets monotonous, but if you do play the same songs every night, there is sort of like I was saying earlier, you can kind of play them in your sleep. There's no sort of danger there. It's like, I know this one, I know what's coming next. You can just kind of relax. But if you're playing new stuff or like a cover song that you maybe don't know that well and you're kind of winging it, now it's exciting because now you might mess the song up. You might sound like you might mess the song up for the whole band.
Right. Don't want to be that guy.
You might look like an idiot being the one guy who messed up his part and everyone else is being fine. But now it's exciting. It's kind of fun. So that's why it's fun to do that kind of stuff. And I mean, as a band, we don't really take that stuff too seriously. If you do mess up, we'll kind of point and laugh. It's never like, hey man, you messed up that song, that was unprofessional. And, we'll never like come down on a guy for like messing up. It's more, it's like, laugh and point but it's fun. Music's meant to be fun. Live shows are meant to be live. And, I feel like we pride ourselves on being a band who plays live. There are a lot of bands who use, backing tracks and things like that. And, it's, to each their own, it's just not our thing. We don't even use so much as a click track. We just get up there and 4 dudes trying to make as much noise as we can. And just trying to have fun.
That's interesting. So, I mean, I can totally understand the no backing tracks. That's thank you. But not even a click track, huh? You're just full on like you were 25 years ago, just going for it.
Yeah, I mean, we sometimes joke that we're like the world's biggest garage band. I feel like we're very unprofessional sometimes, but at the same time, we're not out here curing cancer. I mean, we're playing music, we're playing songs, we're trying to have a good time. So don't take it too seriously. Like you should be enjoying it. I remember when Sean and I first moved over from South Africa, and we got this new guitar tech. And I'm like, wow, we've got a guitar tech. We've always just done our own stuff. And he's like, okay, where's your guys like guitar tuners and stuff? We're like, oh no, we don't use those. He's like, what do you mean you don't use those? We're like, I know, we just like tune to each other, and then we play, and then that's what. And for years we just played. We just tuned by ear. We'd like tune up to each other, make sure the bass and the guitar were in tune, and off we go. We'd play a show. And his mind was blown. Like, how can you guys be so backwards? And looking back, yeah, it's kind of ridiculous. But even now, I mean, there might be like 1 or 2 songs, where John might like have a click track, and he'll kind of listen to it, and then he'll start the song, and then basically it shuts off, once he has his timing. But I want to say that's like a song or maybe two of the songs, and the rest of it is just we just kind of wing it. It's just it might sound a little different tonight, might be a little faster than before, or we might just break into a jam.
I mean, obviously, you and Sean have been playing together for 26-ish years, and John's been with the band since 20 some years. So I mean, you guys all, it's like any kind of work. If you work with somebody long enough, you're gonna know, okay, these are kind of their tendencies. I don't have to, or even like a marriage. Like sometimes you just got to give them a look and like, what are you doing?
Yeah, it's absolutely a marriage. And now you're kind of in a marriage with this person. Now you live on a bus together, and you have to share the same space, and so there's all these other unforeseen things that I think people don't think about when they think about a band. It's like, oh, just guys on stage playing music, and the musical chemistry, and that's extremely important. But what's also important is being able to get along with these guys, live together, be in each other's faces 24 hours a day, share a dressing room, share a bus. We don't ride different buses. We have a bus for our crew, and then us band guys, we just ride in the band bus together because we enjoy each other's company, thankfully.
Right.
So we just hang out on the bus, do our thing, and but yeah, finding guys that you can really get along with, and who kind of fall in with your sort of way of doing things and just general sort of mindset. That's sometimes a challenge, and sometimes it takes a minute to get that right. But yeah, once you find the combination, it's great, man. Like that's why I'm looking so forward to this tour, because we've been home now for a while. The last tour we did was in the fall, and we've been home over Christmas, and beginning of the year we've been home, and it's been great. I have little kids, so it's been awesome spending time with them. But I'm looking forward to hanging with my boys, though. Just getting on the bus and having that camaraderie, and getting up on stage and getting that instant sort of feedback and thrill of the crowd. And when you kick into a song that they like, and they cheer and dance around and do whatever it is they want to do, it's that's that addictive adrenaline rush that kind of gets you hooked on this in the first place. So, I think once that's in your blood, it never goes away. So it's going to be nice to have a little bit of a fix of that again. So I'm excited for this run for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a big one. I mean, it's basically the entire month of May that you're out. So it'll start. Yeah. You talk about being on the bus. I mean, you guys start in Phoenix, then you drive to Colorado, then you're here in Iowa. That's a lot to get it started. So very different things.
And then we head back to like California and we're all over the place. It's going to be a lot of driving.
Yeah,
lots of driving.
Yeah,
but it's part of the game. You drive, you rack up the miles, you live on the bus, and again, that's why you need to be able to be around these guys and not get on each other's nerves. But yeah, it's definitely going to be a driving heavy tour. So those are a little harder because another thing is when you do have those long drives, you kind of split them up because there's a limit to how long a bus driver can legally drive. So you're like, we have this drive that is so long. Okay, so we're going to drive half of it, and then we'll stop on the day off in this town. We'll have a day off, and then we'll get back on the bus that night, and then drive the rest of the of the trip through the night while everyone's sleeping, hopefully.
Right.
So it's almost a tease because you're like, hey, day off. I get to hang out in the hotel, sleep in a bed, get a shower. So you spend all this day in a nice hotel, get your shower, and there's this beautiful bed with all the pillows, and then okay, back on the bus, guys. You get back on the moving bus, trying to sleep, and hopefully the roads are good. If the roads are good, you sleep. But if you going through the mountains and stuff, and the roads are a bit rough, it's kind of hard to sleep sometimes. So
sure, totally understand that. You're on the bus, but it's all worth it once you get on stage. So here in Iowa, you're going to be, it's May 7th. That's a Wednesday that you're going to be at McGrath Amphitheater. Now, I don't know if you guys have played there before or not, but McGrath Amphitheater, outdoor venue, beautiful venue. Like your back will be facing the river, and then everybody will be looking at the stage and, with the river behind you. It's a really cool setting. But for you, for you personally, you take out anything else, what's a type of venue that you like playing best? Inside, outside, size-wise? Like, what is it like? You see that stage, you see that venue, you go, this is where it's all about.
Yeah, I like those kind of venues, the sort of outdoor amphitheater type venues. Also, another very important factor for me is proximity to some kind of fishing spot. So that sounds like the perfect venue for me because basically, if I'm bored during the day, I'll just get my fishing rod and I'll go and fish in the river and see if I can pull something out of there. And that's how I'll kill some time.
I don't know what you might pull out of that river, but I mean, it's worth a shot.
Maybe it's the hand,
right?
Or maybe it's a smallmouth bass. I don't know.
Right.
Either way, it'll be exciting and
could be the
memorable
catch of the day, or you might have to call up the police for an investigation. I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, a firearm. Maybe I keep it. Maybe it's
who knows what happens.
Who knows?
Well, the other thing that's with this tour that's just phenomenal. I mean, obviously it is you, Seether, headlining. But what a lineup. Mammoth WVH and Nonpoint opening.
Yeah.
That's got to be a great one that you guys put together right there.
Absolutely, man. We go way back with the Nonpoint guys. We've known those guys for years, and we're great friends with them. I don't really know the Mammoth guys. Corey knows them. He's hung up with Wolfgang and some of the other guys. But all reports, everyone's like, oh, man, those guys are great, and, Wolfgang's so cool, and incredible musician as well. So it's going to be a great band to watch. So I've got high hopes, man, and I think it's going to be a really good tour, and I'm hoping to make good friends. So far, the vibe between all the bands just seems really cool. Everyone's excited for the tour and enthusiastic, and I get the feeling it's going to be one of those tours where all the bands kind of hang out once the show's done, and everyone's just, there's like a camaraderie and a brotherhood, and those are always the best tours in my experience, where everyone gets along, everyone's hanging out, everyone's friends, and it's a good time, man, just like rock and roll band camp. So I think it's going to be a really cool tour. I think it's going to be one of those memorable ones that, when the day comes for the last show, it's kind of a sad, kind of a mixed emotion type. It's like get to go home and see the kids, but got to say goodbye to these brothers.
Sure.
These brothers of ours who just spent this month with having a great time. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's going to be good. Yeah.
So you mentioned, knowing the Nonpoint guys and hearing good things about Mammoth. Are you still, at least for some of them, I know some of them obviously are busy, but for some of the shows, are you still sneaking side stage to, watch Nonpoint, to watch Mammoth, to watch the bands that open for you? Do you still watch these guys?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's one of those things. I feel like I'm a sort of a music fan first and then a musician second, I guess. It's kind of a cool thing to do, especially great live bands like Nonpoint. I mean, Elias is like such a good front man. When he gets up there and starts doing his thing, psyching the crowd out, and it's just, I don't know, it's just a fun thing to watch, the energy, and it gets you psyched out for your show as well. If they're really bringing it and the crowd's really into it, you're like, oh man, we've really got to step it up now. Because these guys really, really kind of gave it hell. So now we've got to step it up. Can't just sort of phone it in tonight. So it's good. It gets you excited, gets your adrenaline going, and put a glass of Jameson on top of that, and you're ready for the show.
There you go. That sounds like a good night. Sign me up. Well, awesome. Well, Dale, man, I know that there are a lot of people already excited for it, May 7th at McGrath Amphitheater, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot more because, as people get closer, the weather gets a little better. All of a sudden, they're like, hey, we need to go to this thing because stacked lineup, and, it's definitely going to be a good time there.
For sure, man. You guys don't have your tickets yet? Go ahead and get them. I think it's going to be one that you don't want to miss, for sure.
Yep, absolutely. Well, Dale, man, I appreciate you jumping on with us, and hopefully we will also see you. Cedar Rapids, the show that you're playing is about an hour away from us, but we got a venue here that we're going to work on getting you right here in the Quad Cities as well. Sound good?
Okay. Yeah, that sounds great.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, Dale, man, I appreciate it. Have yourself a great tour. I know it sounds like you're definitely looking forward to it.
Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate that.